It's very easy. You say hey is hi. Hey door is goodbye.
Hey door.
Hey door.
Oh, that's goodbye.
Yeah.
So
hey door.
Anyway.
Yeah, you don't say hey door when you like walk into a room, because that's like goodbye.
Well, we say the same thing. We say Dewey.
Dewey?
Hey, Dewey.
Hey, Dewey.
Dewey. Anyway, congratulations on the movie.
Thank you.
Well, you get to read so many scripts. What stood out when you read this script for Disconnect?
So many things. I really was blown away by it. I thought it was so well written, and so relevant and just interesting, and also personally a character that I I know guys like Derek, and but I haven't played one similar to that, and that's always enticing when it's something that you haven't done before, when it's a challenge, when you're like excited about it creatively. So that's kind of what got me excited about the project.
When you say that you know guys like him, what do you mean with that? Like, do they have money problems or? No,
I know. I did a show a couple years ago called Generation Kill about a platoon of recon Marines. And we shot that for 7 months in Africa, and we had recon Marines with us out there, so I got to know them very well. And when I read the script, I felt that Derek could have been one of those guys. He could have been one of Brad Colbert's, the guy I play on the show, one of his best friends from Iraq or Afghanistan, that you meet 8 years later, back in the States. Someone who's who was a warrior, a hero, but who's now emasculated and not happy. He's a paper pushing grunt, like he calls himself in the film, and but a very proud man, someone who doesn't want to seek help or say, actually, I need to talk to someone about this. So it was definitely something that I felt very strongly about. It felt very personal to me.
It's kind of funny that you mentioned that, because my husband is in the military too, and they always say like they don't really like it when they're in the military, but once they get out, they're so excited. But
it is. I know it's addictive, and it's really, and they're not getting the help they need and they deserve when they come home. And it's also on a personal level for a guy like Derek. He is so proud. Exactly. He is so tough. He survived 2 wars. He's like, and now I'm going to seek help because I can't sleep at night. He's like, that's bullshit. I'm a tough guy. I'm a warrior. I can take this. So he doesn't want to talk about it, and he doesn't even talk to his wife about it. And that's how it all starts. So this is not a movie about, disconnect from the internet, because the internet is so bad. We're not saying that. The internet is fantastic, but they're having these issues, and instead of talking to each other about it, they go online and numb themselves. It's a distraction for Derek to just sit and play poker online. Right,
because it's not only that because they lost a baby. That's not why they have marriage problems. There's so much more going on in this
Absolutely.
marriage.
I think that their problem started when he came back from the war.
Right.
Having a baby was a wonderful thing for them. I think he was finally like, oh, I'm back. I have a mission. I'm a father now. This is great. Now I have a purpose in life. And then losing that baby, going through that tragedy, it was just like a dark, dark hole. Like he couldn't even do that. Right. He blames himself for that, I think.
What kind of research went into this movie? What did you
Well, like I said, I think a lot of it came from imagine it, reading the script, and then imagining it being one of my friends in the Marine Corps, or one of those guys who it's a very interesting and very difficult transition, and to be out in like you said about your, was it husband or boyfriend?
Yeah.
Your husband, who is out there and they just want to go home, but they're out there and there's so much adrenaline in that, in being out there and being surrounded by your brothers and sisters, and feeling that you're willing to die for them, and knowing that they got your back if something happens. And then you find yourself like Derek, doing a job 9 to 5 that you hate, surrounded by people that are idiots and a boss that's mean, and you're like, what's the purpose? What am I doing here?
Right.
And it's about overcoming that, and not in a combination of not getting the help that you need and deserve, but also there's a lot of pride, and especially a guy like Derek who's like, I don't need to talk to anyone. I'm like, come on, I'm a warrior. I can deal with this. But he clearly can't. So in a way, it's a blessing in disguise, this whole identity theft.
I think so.
Because suddenly he's got a mission again. He's like, right, we're going to go find this guy. This is reconnaissance. This is what I do best.
Well, they gave me the rap. Say hi, hiya.
Hiya, hiya.
Hiya.